put this on the side somewhere. Step 1, find y-intercept. So find the y-int.
Where are we supposed to write that?
You guys don't have to write this.
Oh.
We'll just talk about it. So we're finding the y-intercept. Remember, our y-intercept is the up and down line. Our x is the right and left. So we need to find the point where we cross that up and down line. I want you to go ahead and circle that on your paper. For this one, it's going to be right at 2, because that's where we cross the y-axis. So go ahead and circle right at 2.
Is that the first one, right?
Yeah. And then in the free space in your graph, you can just write y-intercept.
Yeah, right here.
I'm going to use a dark color. The y-intercept, and when we write y-intercept, remember we need an x and a y. So it's going to be 0 for x and 2 for y. Okay, your y-intercept is always going to be 0 something because we don't move left or right. We just move up or down. Yep, y-intercept. And we have 0, 2. Okay? Now the next thing we need to do is find our slope. Step 2. Find slope, remember, which is rise over run. So how we do that is pick 2 points. I would always say use your y-intercept point that you already have. Or you can pick 2. I'm going to use these 2 right here. So I'm going to use this point as 1. This is my second point, okay? I'm going to count up until I get even with my second point. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and put a dotted line across here so I know when to stop. Okay? I'm going to put my pencil on my dot, and I'm going to count up spaces. Notice when I count is when I move my pencil. So 1, 2. I went up 2 spaces. So I'm going to put a 2 next to that. Okay? Then I'm right here. I've got to move right or left. In this case, I'm moving right, which means it's positive. 1, 2, 3 spaces. Do we see how I got from this point to this point by going up 2 and right 3? Okay? So my slope, rise over run, or y over x, is going to be up 2, right 3. So I just found my y-intercept, and I found my slope by using the line on my paper. And on the other side, I'm going to put this information into an equation. So remember, we have y equals mx plus b, which is y equals 2 over 3x.
X plus...
What's our y-intercept?
2.
2. And that's our
I
equation.
think that's the screen or something.
It's the wall. Okay? So there's our equation. That's the end goal for today. This is what's going to be on your quiz, is can we make an equation from a line? Okay? Does everybody have that example? All of that should be down. Okay, if you need to take a picture, take a picture. Okay? Everybody go with that one? Does anybody need to take a picture? It's going to be erased. So if you need it, yeah, this is on your first one. This is your example. Okay? Take a picture of it, because I'm going to put the next line up. Let me throw the next one up. Alright.
Supposed to be on the 10, negative 10.
Hmm?
Supposed to be on the negative 10. I think.
No, I got it.
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the line instead of the dot. That was angle.
Okay, here we go. Second one. What do we notice different about this one?
It's
Negative.
going down.
It's going down, which means our slope's going to be what?
Negative.
Negative. So remember, we read these from left to right. We notice this line's going down, so we're going to have a negative slope. But our first step was what? Find the y-intercept, right? So remember, the y-axis is up and down, x is left to right. We need the y-intercept. So where does it cross this up and down line? Somebody yell it out.
Negative 3.
Negative 3. I'm going to go ahead and circle it. Our y-intercept
Is negative 3.
equals 0 for our x and negative 3 for our y. So we have 0, negative 3 is our y-intercept. Okay? And then when you pick points, you can pick any points. Remember, we're just moving left to right. So Omar, what point do you want to pick to count our slope at?
Negative 6.
This point down here?
Yeah, negative 5 right there.
The negative 5 one? Okay, so Omar's going to pick this one. That's our first point. We move left to right, so we have to get to this point down here. 1 point, 2 point. You can pick any points, you just have to move, okay? We know this line is headed in a downward direction, so we're going to count down first. So again, I'm going to draw my dashed line to know when to stop. I start at my first point. I'm going to go down 1, 2. I'm even with my dashed line. So I've gone down 2. I need to make that 2 negative because I've gone down. So everybody right there, negative 2 on there. And then here's where I've gotten some people. We're going to move right 2. Is moving right, is that positive or negative? If we move right.
It should be positive.
Right is positive. So we're going to keep this 2 a positive 2. So my slope, rise over run, we went down 2, so negative 2, and over right 2, which is a positive 2. So I've got my y-intercept, I got my slope. Again, we have y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals negative 2 over 2x plus, and then my y-intercept, which was negative 3. Does everybody see where I pulled all that information from? Our slope just plugs in next to x. Our y-intercept, even though we wrote it as a point, goes there. Is there anything I can do that equation to clean it up, make it a little better? I wrote something on purpose. There's something we can clean up. Anybody catch it?
It's a negative 3.
It is a negative 3, so I have plus a negative 3. How can I write this a little better?
Erase the plus.
Yeah, so if you have plus and negative,
Oh my.
you can erase that plus, and we can just do minus 3. Okay? That'll clean it up. Either way is right. I wouldn't count you off for writing that, but that is technically the more correct way to write it.
You troll.
Okay? The biggest thing, so I'm going to turn you guys loose for the next 4 problems. The biggest thing you need to know, and remember, identify if your line is positive or negative. That'll determine if your slope is positive or negative. Pick 2 points to count between for your slope and move left to right. Okay? We're going to finish these 4. We're going to do one review graph problem, and then we'll take our quiz.
Quiz today.
We have a quiz today. More grades today. All right? You have 4 problems to work through. I'd like you to try the next one on your own, see where we get, and then we'll go from questions from there. Okay? Ready, go.